Hey guys, this is Lewis from Utah Trikes, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your BB7 disc brakes. The tools you'll need: a T25 and a 5mm Allen of any sort. You can use a T-handle or just one on a multi-tool. I have two different techniques that I use. One of them is with the cable connected, and the other one is before I even connect the cable. And what the idea is, there's these two dials. This red one that you can adjust with a T25, and then on the inside of the caliper there's another one. And what those do is push the pads in and pull them out. So when first thing you want to do is get the brake pads aligned with the rotor. And the easiest way that I've found is by bringing in your outside pad until there's just a hair between the rotor and the inside pad, and then closing, pushing back on the mechanism and tightening the bolts to hold your caliper. So I'll do that again. As you see, there's a lot of space on the left side on the inside pad. We'll bring this in to about there, where there's just a hair. So now that you've got the outside pad brought in, you're going to want to push your caliper up, because there's these washers, and there are two there's a cone washer like this and one that goes inside to allow the rotor to move. You're going to want to push that up and then pull back your mechanism. And now I tighten the lowest bolt first, because I find that prevents it from moving, the washers. So now that we did that, it's rubbing on the outside pad. And we will, now there's no rub. The motion of that is a bit more than I want. So now we're gonna bring in the outside pad till it's as close to the rotor as it can be without rubbing. So, and as long as it's not a consistent rub, it's fine, because with new disc brakes there is a break-in period. So I think we'll work with that. Now we're gonna hook up the cable. So there's a pinch bolt down here on the bottom of the arm. Loosen that out. And run your cable through that. Okay. Now you're gonna pull that arm back until it hits the rotor and let it out just a little bit, and tighten up that cable. Check for rub, and you see that? That's a bit tight. Real quick, I will demonstrate how to get rid of that little bit of rub. What you'll need is a rotor truing fork. So find where the rub is, and I know it's rubbing on the outside pad, so that's right by this guy. So we'll just tweak that over just a little. Still got just a little. Where was it? right there. There's no more rub. Just a tiny bit, but that will be taken care of after the braking period. So this brake is done, and like with all the other cables, 3 fingers, and then I give it a little bit of a bend down just to make it look a little bit better. Put the crimp end on, and there it is. Okay guys, so that first technique is if you have a new brake caliper that you're putting on. That's how I like to do it, just from scratch. But this next technique, say you already have the caliper and your brake cable hooked up, and you don't want to disconnect your brake cable. It's the exact same technique, but instead of pulling back the lever with your hand like that, you're gonna actually squeeze brake lever to keep the caliper from moving. So bring in the outside pad. Now push down on your caliper, pull it back. Like I said, the lowest bolt, which is this back one on this side. Tighten that in, and you don't want to over tighten these because that will also throw off your alignment of your caliper. We'll snug those up. Okay, so we've got the caliper tightened down and it's rubbing on the outside pad. So we're gonna loosen this out until it doesn't rub. Okay, now if you squeeze that brake, it takes a while compared to this one. And back to this one. It's that doesn't really have any stopping power. This one has quite a bit. So we'll bring in this outside pad. Test it. Still no rub, so tighten it. Another click. Test that. No rub. Give it another click. There's just a little bit, which with that, it's fine because we can true the rotor like we did on the other side. What you don't want to hear, I'll give it another, it's a consistent rub like that. So loosen that one click. And real quick, I'll just true that a little bit. A little bit. After you ride it and pull your brakes, the pads will surface and the rotor will also start to true itself, and that will happen in the initial braking period. Another thing that might happen is as you can tell, there's no slack in this cable. As I pull this, it actuates that. After a while, you'll brake, the cable will stretch, and then you'll want to adjust the barrel adjuster right here, which, just like on the rear derailleur, as you spin that out, it'll tighten the cable, and just tighten that up until the brakes feel like they did, and you're gonna be able to keep riding. Alright guys, it's Lewis from Utah Trikes. That's how to set up your BB7s. Like I said,
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Dylan. Thanks. It's Dylan's birthday today. He's 30. He's an old man.